Hey crafty family, it is me, and today I am doing a video on how to use your glue gun. And I'm doing this video because I was watching a video by ScrappinHappyxo Crafts, Jeanette, and I've been subscribed to her for a while. I try to get around and watch people's videos, but I'm subscribed to a lot of people, so every now and again I'll hit on somebody that, hit on a channel that I haven't watched in a while. So I was watching a video from her, and she had gotten her first glue gun. She had been crafting forever, but she always used just wet glue, and don't mind my nails because I've been playing around all day. And so she got her very first glue gun after not having one ever, and she always used, and she does a lot of lace work, and she usually used wet glue. And so I guess she decided to break down and get a glue gun. And she was struggling a little bit with it because she's new to it. And I think a lot of people, and she's right, she was hoping to find a video about how to use your glue gun because there was none out there, and I felt bad for her because there isn't really any out there to show you how to properly use your glue gun. So I'm going to show you how the basics of using your glue gun. Now it depends on what kind of glue gun you have. If I could give everybody one of these glue guns, I would. I would buy one for the whole world. These glue guns are amazing. And this is the SureBonder detail glue gun. It's got a fairly fine tip on it. It's got an on and off button right on it. It's got a light to let you know that it's on so you don't forget to shut it off. And it is a great glue gun. And right now on Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, it's only like $8.95 or something like that. And this, I bought it, it was like 20 something dollars. So you definitely want to pick this glue gun up if you can, because it is fantastic. I love it. I'm already beating it up pretty well, but it's a workhorse. It works great. It doesn't leak. It's just fantastic. It's a high temp glue gun, and yes, I've burnt myself with it, because you will. If you're going to use hot glue, it's inevitable. You will burn yourself every now and again, but the amount of times I've been using glue guns for almost, what, 30 years now, and I've used one specific glue gun forever until I got this one, and I've only burnt myself a handful of times in 30 years, so you're not going to burn yourself that much. And I'm careless, so that's why I burn myself. I'm not like most people who are careful. I'm not. I just kind of go for it. And if I burn myself, oh well, I'll get over it. I burnt my thumb last month. You can listen to that story. I will put a link to videos below that are glue gun craft related, because I did some teaching you how to make stencils with your glue gun, teaching you how to make embellishments, teaching you how to use molds with your glue gun, all kinds of fun stuff. I will put that video below, and if I can remember, I'll do an iCard at the end of the video, and that'll be in it, but I'll definitely put it in the description. So okay, so most glue guns look very similar to this. Some of them have 2 temperature settings, but most of them don't. And something to know about a glue gun, let me get my glue sticks. I'm not really that prepared for this because I never am. I'm doing it on a whim. These are glue sticks. You want to make sure you have the right size glue stick for the right glue gun, because these are the mini glue sticks and they fit these type of glue guns here, but they also make a glue gun that fits a fatter glue stick, and those are great too. But it just depends on which you get. And like I said, I recommend this glue gun, and this is the one that Leigh from Victorian, dang it, why is my brain not working? Victorian Dreams by Leigh. She uses this. I'll put a link to her videos. She uses this exact gun. This is where I first saw it, and I seen that she used it and loved it, so I got it. Hers is named Charlie, mine is Gloria. So Charlie and Gloria are dating, by the way. Her glue gun and my glue gun date. But yeah, so it depends on what glue gun you got. Jeanette, I wish I could buy this gun for you. If I had the money, I would buy it and send it to you, because I think this gun would be better for you. It is a great glue gun. I think it has a little better control out of the nozzle. If I am completely willing, and I have done this for other people, if you want me to purchase it and you reimburse me and send me the shipping for it, I will ship it to you. Of course, I don't know if in Australia you have different plugs. You would just have to get a little adapter for it, but I'm more than willing to do that, because right now, like I said, it's on sale for like $8.95 with Amazon Prime, which I have. So I'm willing to do that for you if you want it, and all you have to do is just PayPal me the shipping and the payment for it, and it's yours, and I will definitely get that for you, because I think you would enjoy this glue gun a lot, and it's a great glue gun. Can't say enough good things about it. But if you like yours, which, you know, that's great, yours is fine. It's, I don't know your glue gun. I almost want to say that it's like a beginner kind of glue gun. I noticed when you used it, you would, okay, pump out some glue, and then it would, like, as soon as you let go of the trigger, it sucks it back in a little bit. So then when you would go to use it again, you had to pump it a few times to get it out, whereas this one, as soon as you start pumping, it generally starts flowing out. Sometimes I'll have to pump it, but that's only if the glue gun gets kind of, you know, far in, and you know, or I just put the glue stick in. That's another thing about the glue sticks. When you load your glue sticks in, once your glue stick, this is how this works, okay? You see here, you see how it has the black part there and the black part there and the glue in the middle? They work together. You see how this one here is pushing? This one here, I'm going to let it drip out. I don't care. When I push it, this right here on the back side is pushing the glue through the gun, okay? So when your stick gets past this back little part right here, when your stick, you know, starts to get short and gets past it, that's why when you were pumping your gun and you said it broke off like the glue stick, it was fine. There was nothing wrong with your glue gun at all. You just needed to put another stick in. What would happen is it will push. Once the glue stick starts to get past this back part, which pushes actually the whole thing, and it's not this part that pushes, it's actually this one, you have to put another stick in for it to have the force to push onto the other stick. Do you know what I mean? Like, it pushes on each other. They work together. So what I like to do is when my stick is still like this and it's kind of poked in and you can still see it, or even if you can't, like even if it's back here, and my stick is all the way here, I take a little bit of glue and I put it in and I connect it to the other stick. So, and I let it dry a second, and there you go. Now you've got a longer glue stick. And as it gets shorter again, I'll do that again. Sometimes I'll forget, and then, you know, whatever. But most of the time I try to remember. So I'm pulling the glue off of here. So those are a couple tips for you. Now, now this is speaking to somebody who's never used a glue gun like Jeanette. Practice. I promise you, a glue gun is an amazing, great tool to have. It is quick, it is easy, and it does some amazing things, and it makes projects so much faster, and you will get faster. I promise you, you will, and you will love it. But you have to, there's a learning curve to it. You're going to have to practice with it in order to get faster. And once you do, though, you're going to be like, how did I ever live without this glue gun? It's crazy. A few tips I'm going to start for people that use it, what you can use it on. You can use it for paper to paper, paper to fabric, paper to wood, anything paper, anything porous to porous. And by porous, I mean something that is not glass or metal or plastic. And even plastic you can get away with most of the time, because plastic will kind of melt into the glue stick a little bit, so it holds it. But anything porous, non-porous is like glass. Anything where liquid cannot penetrate this. Okay? Wood is not is porous, because water will soak into it. So, and fabric is porous. Water will soak into it. Lace is porous. You know what I mean? Like, non-porous would be this. Non-porous would be anything that you would keep a liquid in and it is not going to dry up or escape. That is considered non-porous. Okay? Or porous. Yeah, non-porous. Oh my God, I'm going to confuse you. So, it's called, this is considered non-porous. So, when it comes to non-porous things like plastic, glass, metal, you do not want to expect a very permanent bond all the time. It depends on the situation. So, let's say I'm doing a mixed media piece on a canvas. Now a canvas is considered porous because water eventually will seep into it unless you have, but it's also textured. So you can get away with things depending on the structure of the surface. And I'm going to try to explain this. Okay. So did you watch how when I poured the glue out on the glass, I was able to pick it right up? Like I can sit here and glue this all day, and yes, Jeanette, your glue will get discolored. If it sits, that's fine. It'll still work. It's perfectly fine. It's just the heat discolors it after a while. As you can see, this is like yellowy. Totally fine. And you can leave it laying on its side. You can put it in its holster for hours. I leave mine on for hours. It's fine. You just don't want to leave it and walk away for hours. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm in my craft room all day. The first thing I do is turn my glue gun on because I know that if I want to use it, I'll have it ready to go. And believe it or not, I keep it on top of a canvas little box. So, and it's never burnt or never done anything. So it's fine. But I wouldn't advise you to do that, of course. Keep it on plastic, or not plastic, but glass or a piece of wood or something like that. Anyway, so this has been sitting on here. As you notice, now if I glue anything to this, like if I glue a piece of fabric on top of this with it on the glass, the fabric will stick to the glue, but it's not quite dry. The fabric will stick to the glue, but the glue will not stay on the glass, okay, because the glass is non-porous. So it is not going to permanently adhere. It will stick temporarily, but if you pull on it, look, it comes right up, okay? So porous things, or non-porous things, see, I'm confusing you already, is not a good idea to glue things to porous, non-porous things. There are some slight, yep, I can get the words out. What is wrong with me today? There are some slight exceptions. So, let's see if I can find it. Okay. I'm not saying you would do this, but let's say you have a piece of metal. This one's like pretty smooth on the back. But in some instances, if you have something with a rough texture, you can glue this. Like, let's say this was the side you want to glue on. Okay, let's just forget that this is a charm. Forget that it's pretty on this side, whatever. Let's just consider it an object. See how it's all bumpy and ridgy? If I were to glue this to a piece of fabric, it might stay pretty well. Because it's got these ridges for the glue to sit in, it'll do a better job. So I can even glue this to a piece of wood or whatever, and it might stay pretty well, okay? But my advice to people using glue guns, I see people do this all the time. They're doing this really beautiful canvas, they're putting lots of metal and parts on their canvas, and they're wanting to make this gorgeous thing that lasts forever, but they're taking metal things and they're glue gunning it on. They're putting it on with a glue gun. I don't advise that. I advise using Fabri-Tac for a non-toxic, or a more non-toxic. I don't know how non-toxic this is. I guess it's not completely non-toxic, but it's better than E6000. So I advise Fabri-Tac. Works very well actually for metal onto canvas and stuff like that. Also, obviously E6000. Those are my two go-to glues for non-porous to non-porous or non-porous to porous applications. Okay, glue guns are not meant to hold metal to metal, plastic to plastic, glass to glass. They're not meant for the non-porous thing as much. They are fantastic for paper, for wood, for lace, for fabric, for any of those porous things. They are fantastic for. But like I said, there are some exceptions. Like if you have a plastic embellishment, if it's small and it's plastic, you can use the hot glue gun, because likely the plastic will kind of meld with the hot glue a little bit, because plastic will melt slightly on the back, maybe enough to hold it down. I've had some really good luck with that, and I trust it because usually a plastic embellishment is very light, so it is okay. But if you're going to do larger pieces, or if you're going to do heavier metal, or glass pieces, do not use your hot glue gun to glue these down. It will eventually come off. Even the slightest bit of temperature change in your house or wherever, it can just come right off. I've had things just fall right off of a canvas before. So I don't advise that. Now let's move on to fabric. Now, if it's a wearable piece of fabric that you plan on putting through your washer and dryer, I don't advise you using hot glue. Only because with washing and all that stuff, it may not hold. I mean, it'll hold, but as Jeanette pointed out, it can be sometimes a little stiffer because hot glue dries a little stiffer than a wet fabric glue would dry. So I just don't advise using it for a wash and wear application. Again, Fabri-Tac is your friend. This stuff is amazing. It is a fabric glue that works fantastic for like anything. This stuff is great. You can wash it, you can dry it, you can do whatever. But if you're doing things like what Jeanette does, where you're taking just lace and you're gluing it to things, whether it's cardboard or paper or other material, and you're never going to wash it, and if you do wash it, you might wash it by hand or something, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So she had mentioned that, and I'm going to take a piece of fabric, I'm going to cut a strip off of this fabric real quick. I'm going to put this under here so I can just do this. I think I got a mark on this somewhere, but it might be, yeah, it's in the middle. I usually use this fabric to paint on. I use it as like canvas, but I will ruin a piece of my coveted fabric that I love. No, I'm just kidding. But I really wanted to go over this because I realized that I do a lot of beginner stuff for people, and I never thought to do a glue gun video to actually teach you. I have said things over the years, or over the 2 years I've been on YouTube. I have mentioned this stuff like sporadically through videos, but I've never done a full video on just your glue gun and how to use it. Now, getting back to the glue gun, let me just make sure there was nothing else I need to tell you. Okay, yes, there is. I do want to mention one thing before I get started with that. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. I didn't really prepare for this. She put up the video like yesterday, and I just saw it, and I wanted to make the video and make sure that she got it as fast as possible. So I'm trying to find my aluminum foil, which I'm not doing a very good job of. Ugh, I apologize. Okay. I'm going to show you how to clean your glue gun. All you need is some aluminum foil. You take a piece of aluminum foil, you kind of loosely ball it up, and then if you'll notice, sometimes you'll get like glue around the tip. It'll start to get gunky. Rub it while it's hot with the aluminum foil, and look, all that glue kind of goes away. Something with the aluminum foil, it acts as an abrasive, and it will help clean off your glue gun. And yes, you have to do it while it's hot, but the aluminum foil is not going to get hot enough for you. See, like this glue right here? If I rub it with this and then like flip it over and rub it, it comes off. It might scratch your glue gun a little bit, but who cares? It's there for function, not fashion. And then I take it and I wrap a thick amount around the tip, and I clean it off, and I do this once a week, once every 2 weeks, and this will keep your glue gun nice and clean. I never use my little thing because to me they're like, it just doesn't work, and I don't really need to. Sometimes I just take it right off and I don't even worry about it, but this one stays tucked under pretty well, so I just leave it tucked. But that's what I do to clean it, and it works fantastic. So there you go, nice and clean, no drippy glue all over it. When it's cooled off, it's much harder to clean that off. It's easier to do it when it's hot. Just have enough aluminum foil to be able to do it without burning yourself. Okay, so fabric to fabric, I'll show you real quick. What I like about this glue gun, and something if you're not going to get this gun, practice with the gun you have. I seen that Jeanette's gun doesn't, to me, I would imagine that it doesn't have a lot of good control with that one. And you're probably going to have to practice a lot, because I did notice that sometimes you would get like a big blob, whereas mine, I can just go pretty much, and it happens every now and again, but I can pretty much go and get a flat, nice line, fold it over, and if you're using thick fabric, you're not really going to burn yourself. And one of the downfalls of hot glue is if you're looking to get a perfectly flat, seamless kind of application, I don't know if you can see this, but you'll see a little lump under there, a little lump. And that's normal for hot glue, and that's to be expected. But when you're using it in projects where you're gluing lace, a lot of times you're gluing it, and most of the time you're doing it in a way where it's tucked under, or you're not going to see it, and most of the time you won't notice it, and you'll get good with the glue gun enough to be able to do it where you won't notice it. And I never notice it on my projects anyway. Nobody else really does either, but it's kind of like that's just how it is. But it won't be that bad, and once it's sealed, like this is really on there. Why do I get the hiccups every time I start a video? This is really on there, and there's nothing, I mean, if you ripped it, you might get it off, but if you ripped it when it's glued with regular fabric glue, you'll get it off too. So if you have to put that much pressure on it, then, you know. So it works fantastic. Yes, you have to work in small increments. So if I'm going to use lace, this lace I have a lot of. I'm like, my lace to me is like coveted. Because I love my lace. And look how detailed that is. Now there's a lot of fine holes in that. And I remember you mentioned that, you were afraid that you were going to see the glue. And yes, if you don't have a lot of experience, you will see the glue through a fine lace. So you might be better off using glue, but I've used Fabri-Tac and had it show through fine lace. So it's kind of like you know, it depends on what you use. I always put the glue on the lace, because if you put it here and then lay this down, you might end up laying it down where there's a hole, and you might get the glue through there. So I put the glue on the lace, and I work in small sections. Now with something like this where it's really fine, and I can like practically see through the whole thing, I'm hoping you could see that, where it's like real fine. And if I want to put the glue up at this level here, my glue gun is like tangled with my heat gun. Let's see if I can do this. I am going to start slowly pushing the trigger, very slowly. And I'll show you, like, and no, you do not have to push hard on the fabric. You do not have to jam it down. If you jam it down, then you're going to have more likelihood of the glue coming through to the piece of lace. Just lightly tap it and let it sit. For most applications, when you're doing crafts, you do not have to worry about it coming off. And once it's dry, it will stay on there. You just tap it lightly, and as it starts to dry, you can push on it a little bit more. And I put a decent amount of glue, and you can't see it. It's not coming through. Once you get good with a glue gun, you will be able to do that. You will be able to use almost very delicate laces. You just want to be able to watch your glue gun as you're pushing it, and don't put anything real close, because if you get a big glob, you can, you know, put it off on your table. So I watch it until it just starts to come out, and then I hit it, and like you were doing, kind of rub it in and just lightly tap it on, and then as it dries a little bit, then you can push it down a little bit more. And that's how I do it, and I work in small sections. Like I would probably do like this section, I could do the whole thing. And since I am like here, I'll try to do the whole thing. Or at least most of it. And you'll get glue strings. I'll show you a trick with those too. See, and there's no glue showing through that. But if when the glue is super hot, you push really hard, yes, the glue is going to come up through. So you want to give it a second to start to set, then you can push it a little harder, but it's not going to go anywhere. So now I'm going to finish the last bit of this off. And that was a very thin piece of lace on there. And it is perfectly on there, and you cannot see an ounce of glue. nothing. So it is very possible to get a perfect, you know, I've used thinner lace than this and with a glue gun. You just have to practice. And now it's on there. I didn't do that edge, but it's on there. It's not coming off. Okay. And if it does, like I did here, I pulled it off. Yes, you can reheat it. You just use a little bit more glue, and I pulled it off because I wasn't patient. Sometimes it happens. Because you're going to tap it on and then push it in after a second. And you might have to reapply it if you pull it too hard and it comes off. It happens. But that's on there. I'm pulling quite hard and it's not coming off. So it's a little trial and error. You have to practice, and if you pull it and it comes off, then re-glue it. Because you'll already have hot glue on the back. Just put a little bit more, and you definitely won't go through the lace at that point because you've already got a layer of hot glue on. So just glue it right behind it. So you'll get a seamless, nice, you know, neat application, but it takes practice. You want to go for a thinner amount of glue rather than a thicker amount of glue. I'm trying to look around and see what I've got to show what I can do. And of course, like I said, not prepared. Well, let's work with tulle, okay? A lot of people that do shabby chic, including myself, we like to work with tulle. Now tulle, most of the time you glue that to the underside. So let's say you want to have some tulle coming out of the back of this. I have a little spatula. You have that paintbrush thing. That is a mark making tool that you have. It is meant for using in paint. And it'll work fine because it's silicone, so you can use that. But I advise you to go to the store, to your dollar store, and get these cheapy little silicone spatulas. Sometimes they're decorative like this. You can get them around the holidays. I think I have another one here somewhere that's just a plain one. Or maybe not. I don't know where it is, but anyway. Oh, here it is. Here we go. I've got this one, which is really dusty, and I've got all three of these. This one came with a glue gun mat, and it was by the, I think it was by the Mod Podge company, maybe? I can't remember. But it came with this glue gun mat, which is heat safe for your glue gun. I use this mat when I'm making stencils because you can make shapes. And did I shut my glue? I shut my glue gun off. That's why. That's why it wasn't gluing very well. Look at that. I shut my glue gun off so it started to cool. Dingbat I am. So I'll give that a second to heat back up. Dingbat alert. But anyway, I use this mat for when I do stencils. I'll make stencils. I'll put joining glue gun circles and I'll make stencils, and I use this mat. It works great. It comes with... Anyway, sorry, I use this mat when I use my stencils. The glue comes off it nice. This mat came with this spatula, and it came with these finger grips. There are these silicone finger thingies. There's 3 of them. I don't know where my other one is. There it is. Comes with 3 of these. So the bigger one can go on your thumb, and then you can grip. It comes with this silicone stick that you can use to like press down. It didn't come with this. I bought this at the dollar store, and it comes with this spatula. So you get all of this stuff, and I think it was like $15 maybe. I got it on, I think I got it on, no, I think somebody gave this to me. Did somebody give this to me? Yes, somebody sent me this in Happy Mail, but I went online and looked at how much it was prior to that because I wanted one, and I think they were like $15. But somebody sent this to me, I believe, in Happy Mail, I think. I don't know, my brain's not working, but I think so. But anyway, if you get yourself a little bit bigger of a spatula, it's better, in my opinion, than that little one you were using. You might have a little better luck with a bigger one, whether you go to a dollar store and get one like this, or get this set. Either one works great. It's always good to have one on hand to press down on things that you're gluing. I've got glue all over mine, of course. Let's see if this puppy's heated back up again. Yeah. Okay, we're good. So, okay, that's why I was having issues, because my glue gun wasn't on. Sometimes that happens. I hit it with my hand every now and again. Okay, so if we're working with tulle, we're going to put it in from the back side. And like I like to bunch it up and do like a little accordion fold on my tulle, or you can do like a ruffle, but And if you do like the accordion fold, you get like a ruffle like that. And of course this is way too long. I wouldn't do it this long, but I can even cut this in half a little bit. Okay, this is not the neatest application of this. But if you're doing an accordion fold and you want to put the glue, let's just do it like that. So what I would do at this point is I would put some glue generously there. I would put the tool in, move my fingers, and hold that down until it pretty much dried, flattening it out until it dried. Especially if you're doing it on a heavy fabric, because then it won't go through to the other side likely, hopefully not. And when this releases easily, that means it's ready to go, it's dry. And so now we've got, get that out of the way. So now we've got like a little tool sticking out the bottom. It works great for stuff like this because it's instant. You don't have to hold it with glue, You don't have to worry about flipping it over and then getting glue all over the place and stuff like that, because it's instant and it dries fast and it's easy to use. And if you have glue strings, the best way to get rid of them is with your heat gun. When you're all done with your project and you want to get rid of the glue strings, take your heat gun and turn it on and heat it up, and the glue strings will pretty much just shrink right up. They'll disappear. So that's what I do. Just be careful if you're doing it over tool that you don't melt your tool. So, and usually you can do it on the low setting and it'll shrink those little stringies right up. So these are some of the things that you can do with your heat gun, and many, many more things. And of course the backside's never going to look as pretty because obviously it's the backside. And so as far as paper goes, let me get a piece of paper. Now let's pretend that we, for some reason, want to glue this to paper. Well, you can absolutely do that because, like I said, non-porous, perfect combination for them. So for some reason, if you're like putting this on a card or whatever, you can just go ahead and put your glue on and not burn yourself and lay it down. And obviously that's going to work out just fine. Okay, you're going to have a good connection there and it's going to work out just fine. I globbed it on there because I was just being fast. But you can do it much thinner application. So that's another way to use it, obviously, with your paper crafts. I wouldn't use it to like collage papers down with. So, I mean, because you can't get a good, I'm going to rip this off of here. You can't get a good, like, it's not going to give you a nice smooth finish for a collage necessarily. And I guess the red marks are from the Santa's helper. Comes off every now and again. It's not going to be as smooth. Like, you see what I mean? It's like lumpy because paper is thin and it's almost impossible. I mean, it will hold, and you're going to rip the paper before you rip the glue. Like, the paper is stuck to that. So it will hold paper, obviously, but it's not like, if you're going to collage, use Mod Podge. This is not for collaging. This is for gluing things together, doing little things and projects like fabric and little things like that. That's what a glue gun is for. It's great for wood. You can glue anything to wood that you want. Like, here's a wood that I use for poking holes or practicing my my wood burner. If I glue anything to this wood, it's going to stick permanently, pretty much. And I don't even have anything, like, let's say a piece of lace. Here, I'll use this. Like, if I'm only going to do a little section because I'm going to rip it off because I do use this. So I can do this, and I'm just taking my finger thing. And if I put that on there, that's not going to go anywhere unless I literally rip it off to the point where it's like crazy. But it's going to hold and it's not going to come off because wood is porous. So the glue seeps in and it gives a good bond. So yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I can tell you. But you can leave your glue gun, like I have a piece of wood like this, I can lay it on and that's perfectly fine. You can leave it like that while you're working in your craft room. You're not going to burn your house down unless you bought some weird glue gun that's just like not fire safe or something that, you know, like a dollar store glue gun might not be the best one to use. But if you're getting a quality glue gun like this, you're not going to have to worry about it. Obviously, you're not going to be careless and walk out of the room for 6 hours. If you have to go to the bathroom, that's fine. If you're going to go grab a drink, that's fine. But don't leave it for hours unattended. But I've never had a problem while I was in my craft room leaving this on for hours on hours on hours on end. So you're not going to have an issue. Obviously, you don't want to leave it sitting on your fabric. You know, a piece of wood or a piece of glass or your mat that it's meant for. See, like this will hold this piece of wood, and it's not a light piece of wood. This is a pretty substantial piece of wood. You see what I mean? So this is not going to go anywhere, and that's the nice thing. Now, if I want to rip it off, I can, but I had to put like a lot more pressure than the weight of this wood. So I hope that this was helpful. I can't think of anything else. Like I said, I like to make stencils by making wonky shapes. And that's another good thing for you to do, Jeanette, is to get yourself a mat, which you may have one, any nonstick mat, and practice doing stuff with this, with your glue gun. Write your name, like I write my name. Practice the flow of glue coming out of your glue gun to the point that you will be able, don't worry about glue strings as much because you can just go like that and it'll kind of help it. But when you're able to control the flow of your gun really well, it'll make a world of difference in what you're doing. So practice with your glue gun. If you're having trouble with your glue gun not giving you good flow, like I said, try to get this glue gun. This one's great. And I've used a lot of glue guns in my day. So, and like I said, the offer stands. If you want me to get it for you and I will ship it to you, just send me the PayPal of how much it costs to ship it. I will gladly do that for you so that you have a good glue gun to work with. But I hope this was helpful for you and anybody else that is new to using a glue gun or maybe has been using wet glue for a long time and was afraid to use a glue gun. Don't be afraid. It's an amazing tool. It's, you know, it's extremely versatile and there's lots of things you can do with it and there's things you can't do with it. But, you know, you learn your limits, practice. This isn't meant for making jewelry. You're not going to want to use this in your jewelry making or your really heavy metal pieces and stuff like that. This is meant for like your fabrics. This is great for people that do shabby chic stuff. Fantastic tool to have. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And you can even make letters and then paint them, which is what I do. You can make letters and you can paint them and use them on your projects. And you can still get the glue strings off with your heat gun because believe it or not, it will not melt the glue. It'll just get rid of the glue. See, I don't know if you've seen that, but it's hard to see on camera. But it will take away the glue strings and it will not melt the glue enough at all. So those are just some tips. Like I said, I'm going to put a couple links in the description of some videos I have that with some useful stuff about your glue gun and things you could do with it. I hope this helped you, Jeanette. I wish you good luck. I really hope that you keep working with your glue gun and learn to love your glue gun. Name your glue gun. Give it love and it will give you love back. And if you don't like it and you don't feel that your glue is easy to control, like I said, try to get this one or let me know. I'll help you get it. My email address is pinkpoodlecrafts@gmail.com. You can email me anytime with any questions. I will help you with whatever you need when it comes to your glue gun. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon next to the subscription button, and you can set up notifications so that you know when I go live, because I do live streams twice a week, and when I have new videos coming out. And I also have a link in the description to my GoFundMe account because I'm out of work right now due to Crohn's disease. And I just had surgery literally the day before yesterday. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and do what you love what you do, be nice to people, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to put a link to Jeanette's YouTube channel in the description, because this video was inspired by her, and she has some really great projects, and she has, I really love watching her beautiful shabby chic projects. So definitely check her out, and tell her I sent you and say hi. Have a nice night. Bye.